Tigers. John Mullen for the Syracuse Orange. These two hold their programs single-season ground ball records. To me, this is probably the matchup of the game.
And Johnny Mullen, one of the top face-off specialists nationally, but Mcmeekin, as good as they come as an athlete, and he's competed against elite competition throughout his career. Yes, statistically not the greatest, but Mcmeekin up for the challenge.
Also two of the most physically imposing face-off men in college lacrosse. That one won by Mullen, who came in at 60% over the first 4 round school in Deerfield Academy and really came on last year. First 6 games, just 2 points. Last 11 games for Bonanno, 27 points, including a big postseason.
And Cody, you see the versatility of Bonanno in the midfield. And Palumbo, an outstanding midfielder a year ago, but he gives that presence down low to where you really have to think about matchups.
Beating the top-ranked team in men's lacrosse. That capped a 7-0 weekend for the Ivy League. Still 2 weeks away from the start of conference play, but Ivy League teams now 15-5 against non-conference opponents. The Ivy standings presented by Jag Physical Therapy, and right off the face-off, Andrew Mcmeekin. Take it to make it 3-0 Tigers.
And don't let the face-off statistics fool you, Cody. This kid, Andrew Mcmeekin, 32 in white, he's an absolute stud. He's not just a face-off guy. When he gets the ball in his stick, he can bring it, and he does that right here. And the Tigers are up 3-0 big in this first quarter. And Mcmeekin, he has been a big-time player in big-time moments, and he's off to a great start so far.
Andrew Mcmeekin last year didn't score a goal 2 years ago, though. His first season as the Tigers' primary face-off guy. Had 8 goals. That was tied for the most nationally by a face-off man. Absolute physical specimen who really came on in the postseason, helped the Tigers get back to the NCAA tournament after.
And John Dunphy.
The other thing you notice there, right, who are the Tigers going to try to get the ball to? Okay, who's got the short stick matchup? They've been able to take advantage.
And that'll be the theme for both teams. When you look at Syracuse's staff yesterday, they raved about his footwork, his determination, and it's well documented. This kid's got the heart of a Princeton Tiger.
Chad Palumbo last year in that NCAA quarterfinal loss for Princeton, as we get a violation against Mullen and a face-off win for Fitzgerald. Chad Palumbo, 6 goals on 6 shots, 6 goals in an NCAA tournament game, tied a Princeton program record. Also suffered a knee injury on one of those first goals that required off-season surgery and played through it, but Chad Palumbo, we told you, April 4th, 2009, and then the year after that, they opened up its replacement MetLife Stadium up in East Rutherford, the first ever lacrosse game played there. And most recently last year, that 1918 Orange victory over the Tigers to go back to championship weekend.
And Cody,
but Princeton on Sunday at noon will welcome in top-ranked in the media poll in North Carolina. That's where Tucker Wade's father was a 2-time ACC Player of the Year. Mcmeekin with another face-off win, so face-offs now 6-3 in favor of Princeton. That was an area we talked about coming into the game. If the Tigers could keep that at least 50%, around 50%, they've got a great shot. 2 years ago as a sophomore, first Tiger since 1999 to go over 50% in a season on faceoffs. He also led the nation for faceoff men with 8 goals. Really dynamic. We talked about Ryan Croddick, someone that could maybe jump into the offense, but Mcmeekin, or you talk about Fogos, faceoff, get off, Mcmeekin certainly doesn't fit that mold, and he's one of the Tigers' 6 goal scorers today.
And I remember watching him in high school at Episcopal Academy, and you thought this kid could play not only face-off and be a great face-off specialist, but a two-way midfielder. That's how good he was as an athlete. And you watch this kid in the weight room, he deadlifts over 600 pounds. I mean, he is built like a running from Princeton.
Luke Roa, the senior out of Potomac, Maryland, last year an honorable mention All-American when he tallied 33 points. Mcmeekin off the face-off win to Kabiri. A little bit too tall for Palumbo, who gets hassled. 50-50 ball. Syracuse has a beat with Figueres. Rolls out of bounds, and it's going back the other way with Syracuse.
And Princeton wins the face-off, but Syracuse causes the turnover. Great defense, and they win the possession. If they can't get going at the face,
expired, so 2 goals, both man up for the Orange, and they're trying to battle back in. Big face-off here. Syracuse trying to keep momentum. Mcmeekin. And it'll be an infraction against Mullen. So he's had a frustrating first half here through their sophomore season. Michael Sowers, Coulter Mackesy, Kevin Lowe, Ryan Boyle, Jesse Hubbard, Nate Kabiri.
He's in elite company, and they've got so much depth that sometimes you forget Nate Kabiri is in that class in the Princeton program.
Told you Kabiri and Burns, teammates in high school at Georgetown Prep, so they've been playing together by McEntee. And the Orange back within 4. Critical face-off here. There was a violation on Mullen last time, so Drew Angelo comes in. And now a violation on Mcmeekin, so Syracuse with possession. Started at midfield. Saturday at Harvard, back to attack, taking over that spot vacated by Owen Hiltz. 239 career points for Hiltz, one of the all-time leading scorers for the Orange. Princeton jumping an hour south of here down at Franklin Field. Number 1 North Carolina taking on number 19 Penn in the other half of this ACC Ivy Challenge. Mcmeekin wins it, passes it off. Kabiri and the Tigers strike 6 seconds in. Second of the day for Nate Kabiri, the junior. Fired up here at Scherer.
And Andrew Mcmeekin picking up where he left off. Fast break off the face-off. He wins it out the front, draws the point defenseman, and Kabiri lets it fly. And the Tigers are feeling it and picking up where they left off in the second half. And Nate Kabiri, you don't want to get his hands free because he'll blast the back of the net just like that.
Mcmeekin, after leading the nation with 8 face-off goals 2 years ago as a sophomore, had just 3 points last year as a junior. He's got 2 points today, a first-half goal and a second-half assist.
And his confidence is the difference today. And you're fighting for a quarter of an inch at that face-off dot, so confidence is huge. You have to send your guy.
Saturday, and then the Tigers Ivy opener at home against 5th-ranked Cornell.
And Tigers only on the Princeton schedule, no pun intended. Matt Madelon has created a gauntlet, just like Coach Gate at Syracuse with the schedule. And there's so many teams nationally that can make a run, but it's still early. It's only February. A lot of lacrosse and development left to play and to happen.
Russ Fitzgerald with the face-off win, but then the Tigers turn it over. Fitzgerald, the talented.
Their head, they are sliding opportunistic, and they're causing chaos right now.
See if Syracuse can adjust. Critical face-off here, and it's won by the Orange with John Mullen.
And Syracuse perfect in the clear until then, so their game plan executed up until that point, but you can't give shooters like Nate Kabiri and the rest of this Princeton offense and Kramer and Wade extra opportunities and unsettled opportunities. Most of the goals.
Freshman recruiting rankings are worth. They had Parker Reynolds ranked 68th in this class. Can't imagine there's 67 better players than number 8 in white.
And Princeton, they recruit at an elite level, but they recruit guys who love lacrosse. It's February. NFL
has high ambitions, and you asked Matt Madelon what's the key. He looks at 26 between the pipes and says this team's going to go as far as Ryan Croddick takes us.
And the senior last year against Rutgers, 22 saves. I was in attendance in the stands. That was his coming out party. Another step forward today, a lot more tape to evaluate. Coach Pat March, one of the best in the business in figuring out that chemistry offensively.
Michael Leo assisted on 3 of the first 6 Syracuse goals, and now he finds the back of the net for the first time. Face-off violation on Mullen, who's going to finish